Trump had this to say.
We remember the suffering and death of God's only Son and his glorious resurrection on the third day. On Easter Sunday, we proclaim with joy, Christ is risen.
And then President Biden had this to say.
Everyone's celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility. I want you to know that your president sees you. Jill, Kamala, Doug, our entire administration sees you for who you are, made in the image of God and deserving of dignity, respect, and support. But we know it's hard when there are those out there who don't see you and don't respect you. For example, the onslaught of anti-transgender state laws attacking you and your families is simply wrong. This administration is standing up for you against all these hateful bills, and we're committed to advancing transgender equality in the classroom, on the playing field, at work, in our military, in our housing and healthcare systems, everywhere, simply everywhere. Today, we're announcing even more steps, but there's always more work to do to end the epidemic of violence against transgender women of color and girls of color, to ensure transgender seniors can age with dignity, and to finally pass a bipartisan Equality Act, to help transgender persons around the world live free from discrimination and violence. Above all, to be there with you. To parents of transgender children, affirming your child's identity is one of the most powerful things you can do to keep them safe and healthy. To any transgender American who's struggling, please know that you're not alone. To parents and children alike, please ask for help and know this: you're so brave, you belong, and we have your back. God bless you all. Be brave.
And here comes the propaganda media doing damage control.
Of course, and this year it falls on March 31st. Now, years ago, President Biden declared that March 31st Trans Day of Visibility, sort of awareness for transgender issues. Republicans do not like that this is happening on Easter. So what is the White House saying?
Well, and this is another example of how transgender rights has become a contentious issue. Now, Republicans, as you mentioned, have slammed that this day is going to fall on Easter, but we should note that this day, the Transgender Day of Visibility, always falls on March 31st. It just so happens that this year, Easter is going to be on the same day. Easter, of course, often changes year by year. Now, in a statement, White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said the following, quote, "As a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and upholding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Sadly, it's unsurprising politicians are seeking to divide and weaken our country with cruel, hateful, and dishonest rhetoric. President Biden will never abuse his faith for political purposes or for profit." Of course, one of those politicians who slammed the move was House Speaker Mike Johnson. But again, the Transgender Day of Visibility has always fallen on March 31st. President Biden recognized it in a proclamation for the first time in 2021 and has done so every year since then. Easter, again, so happens to also fall on March 31st this year.
This is why it's very significant who you vote for. But first of all, don't forget to vote for Jesus.